my name is Petunia, and today I'm going to tell you the story of my life with the help of my mommy, Meghan. Some things you should know about me first. I'm a Juliana pig. Juliana is a breed of mini pigs. Any pig weighing under 300 pounds is considered a mini pig. I'm extra small because I weigh under 100 pounds. I was born in Texas along the Texas-Louisiana border. I was born on a mini pig farm that specializes in very small pigs. I lived with my birth mom and siblings until I was between 6 to 8 weeks old. And then I took a very long journey to my new family. My new family was on the other side of the state, and since I was in Texas, that means over 700 miles. I was put in a small pink crate with a blue blanket and taken to the airport. And although the outside world looked kind of scary, I knew I was safe because crates are a safe place. I love sleeping in my pink crate. The new family picked me up from the airport and took me to their home. The first day I was very fussy because I missed my old home and was trying to get used to my new one. But my new mom held me all the time, so I liked that. But then she started putting me down, and I didn't like that. So I screamed. She immediately picked me back up, and that made me happy. Cuddles are my one weakness. But on the second day, I got to meet the family's other pets. They had big dogs, and one of the dogs tried to bite me when I was playing. That scared me, and I screamed. The whole family suddenly gave me attention. And this time I realized that when I screamed, I could make them do what I wanted. Humans aren't hard to train. I even coaxed my new family into feeding me milk. I didn't want anything else. If I refused to eat, they would let me have milk. My new family reacted immediately every time I screamed, but they started to seem very unhappy. On the third day, a man and woman showed up at my new house and took turns holding me. I screamed whenever I was moved because I wanted them to know that they couldn't put me down. And then they took me to their car and I left with them. And I do have to say, I wasn't sorry to leave those mean dogs. I don't think much about my old family. I don't remember much about them. My new parents, Jaime and Meghan, started caring for me and life started changing a lot. And they became my real family. My real family had a giant dog that was fluffy and even softer than my blue blanket. My pink crate and blue blanket went with me, thank goodness. Imagine leaving it with those mean dogs. Anyway, the giant dog was so fluffy. His name is Caspian, and he's one of my best friends. But when I got to my new house, I didn't always get what I wanted. I screamed to be picked up, but Mom didn't seem to react to my screaming at all. Maybe she couldn't hear me, so I screamed louder, but nothing happened, and I got tired and went to sleep. Mom would keep me next to her while she worked. I got lots of toys to play with on the floor. Some of them even made noise. I liked that. And Mom noticed, so she started playing music for me. Music is my one weakness. And sometimes I would get to sit in her lap, but not if I was screaming. Before I knew it, I started finding food in my milk bowl when Mom would give me breakfast and dinner. I guess it wasn't so bad after all. I kind of liked the way it tasted, and I don't really know when the milk stopped, but come to think of it, I haven't had any milk in a long time. Then Mom started putting a harness around my body. I didn't like that. I screamed and kicked and made a huge fuss, but it was like Mom couldn't hear me. And then once she was done, we would go outside and go to outdoor events, and that was fun. I liked going to places with Mom, and everyone would stop and stare at me. I mean, after all, I am a very cute pig. So I started wondering if Mom was deaf. I couldn't understand why she didn't react to my screams. Maybe she couldn't hear me? No matter how loud I was, she wouldn't do something or not do something. But then I realized that Mom would talk to me when I talked to her. So if I wasn't screaming, she would answer me. And ever since then, I love talking to Mom. I think she even understands my oinks sometimes. And since coming to live with my real family, I made a lot of friends. For the first few years of my life, I shared a yard with Rosie, a black and white Dutch rabbit, and a very large rooster, and an old dog named Chuko. Most of my friends had special things about them. Rosie had her bad leg, and my rooster friend, Mr. Chicken, also had a bad leg. He was very large and had broken his leg, so Mom kept him with us once it healed because he was too big to be jumping around the farm. She didn't want him to get hurt again because of his weight. And Chuko was a Chihuahua that Dad had found on the railroad tracks. And he looked older than the railroad itself. He had no teeth, and his tongue would always hang out of his mouth. Rosie was my best friend. What we had in common was that we both liked eating, and we were smart about getting food that Mom tried to keep from us. I learned how to open storage containers that Mom kept food in. All you had to do was turn the lid till the top popped off. And if Mom tried to store food above where I could reach, Rosie would knock it down so that we could share. Mom thought Rosie couldn't climb because her broken leg had healed wrong. When Mom would put Rosie in her rabbit hutch, I would open the door to get her out after Mom left. And together, we would eat Mom's plants in the vegetable garden. Rosie could jump up onto the raised garden bed. I couldn't jump very high with my short little legs, but I found things in the yard to use as step stools. I just had to push them over to the garden, and then I could reach the plants once I stood on top of the stuff. On warm nights, Mom would let me sleep outside with my friends. Chuko would sleep on my back, and Mr. Chicken would sleep next to me in our little house. Mom also taught me to take baths often. It made me nervous at first, and I would have an accident. But Mom didn't mind, and said it was only a phase. She was right. But I still don't like it when she cleans my ears. As time went on, my pink crate got smaller and smaller. Mom said I didn't need to sleep in my crate at night. She said that once I went potty outside with the dogs, I could sleep wherever I wanted. But I wanted to sleep in my pink crate. And if it got late, I would go to my crate even if Mom wasn't in bed yet, and I would shut the door. I'm one of those people that can't sleep with the door open. But it got harder and harder to turn around in my crate. And one day Mom took my crate and gave me a new one. This one was big. I was so upset, but I remembered Mom couldn't hear me scream, so I peed in my crate. And it worked. Mom took me out of it. But then a few minutes later, she put me back in it, so I peed again. Me and Mom went back and forth on this for a while. Then Mom did something different. She put a cat bed with a roof in my crate. It was so comfy, I couldn't help myself. I laid down and went to sleep. Mom knows that pillows and blankets are my one weakness. Later on, all the crates got small, and I had to start sleeping in the dog beds with Caspian and the other dogs that joined our family. But that's okay, and Mom said that no matter how small the crates got, they would always keep me as part of the family. Sometimes this man comes to visit us. Mom calls him the vet. I don't trust him though. Sometimes he pokes me and I scream, even if Mom can't hear me. But sometimes he gives me something very tasty to eat, and I like that. I just don't get too close. My favorite thing to do is play in shallow pools around the pond and nap. Sometimes I like to go on walks with Mom and my other friends, the goats. But I don't like it when the walks are too long. Snacks are much better than exercise. I love snacks. Sometimes Mom tricks me into learning new things by bribing me with snacks. I think she knows that it's my one weakness. Mom knows that I don't like hot weather, cold weather, rain, or wind, so she always lets me stay in the house if I don't want to be outside. And that's one of the reasons I know she isn't deaf. She always listens when I tell her I'm ready to go outside. My friends Rosie, Mr. Chicken, and Chuko have since passed away from old age. I miss them, but I've made a lot of new friends too. My mom had me help raise the goats, and I visit with the alpacas sometimes too. And since I was with Rosie since I was a tiny baby, I have a special place in my heart for bunny rabbits. I get to spend a lot of time with my two bunny friends, Belle and Snow. I even share my food with them. Bunnies are my one weakness. I love my real family. They care for me, and I know that this is my forever home. It's hard moving around so much as a little piglet. If you decide to bring someone like me into your family, make sure it's for life.